hoping that it's working this time, because I feel sorry for my poor neighbours hearing me upstairs doing this over and over again. Come on, hopefully this works. Right, okay, so these are the answers. So hopefully you would have had a chance to watch the video previously where we've talked a bit about how we work these out. And these should be the answers to your problem. So we're going to go through together, and you can mark them. Okay, and if there are any mistakes that you've made, then you can have a little look, try and work out what they are. Okay, so first one is complete the sentences. And I really like these part-whole models that they show here and the way that they break down. So we've got 7/5 altogether, and we can see at the top that in the top circle it shows the 7/5, and then it breaks it down into 1 whole and 2/5, and that's really quite nice and visual. Okay, so 7/5 equals 1 whole, which you can see the 1 whole is on the left-hand side of the circle, and the 2/5 is on the right-hand side. Right, on this one, we can see we've got less information this time. It doesn't tell us how many fifths there are altogether, so we need to try and work these out. So we can count if you want to. You can just count each block, or you can say, right, okay, I can see there are 2 holes, so that'd be 10 the fifths, and we've got 3. So basically it's 13 fifths. Okay, so 13 fifths equals 2 holes and 3 fifths. And again, it shows it nice and clearly in there. And now we move on to the quarters, and we can say, right, we know quarters are 4, so we've got 4, 8, 12, and another one, so it's 13 quarters altogether. So 13 quarters is equal to 3 holes and 1 quarter. Okay, so it says, shade the bar model, number 2, shade the bar models to represent the fractions, complete the number sentences. And on this one, if you shade in the correct amount, it should show it quite clearly. So basically this is showing right. So you need to shade in 5 sections, okay, 5 parts of this model. So if you shade in the 5, you'll see that we've got, you should have 1 whole and 2/3. So the answer is 1 whole and 2/3 if you shaded in the correct parts of the bar model. And of course the top part shows you how many you should shade in, the numerator. Next one, we have 8/3. So again, if you shade in 8 of these 8/3, of course altogether there are 9/3. If you shade in 8, that will tell us we've got 2 holes and 2/3. So the answer is 2 holes and 2/3. Right, next one, we've got 8/5. Again, if you shade in 8 of the fifths, that should leave 8 shaded and 2 left over. So we know that's 1 whole and 3/5. So the answer is 1 whole and 3/5. So 8/5 equals 1 whole and 3/5. Complete these statements. So this is now we're looking at converting these and to see how many holes there are. So if you're really good with the multiplication, you'll know the answers to these quite quickly. But if not, you might have to do some working out. You could even just draw on your piece of paper. So it's top one here where it says 12 halves. You could draw out 12 circles, box them into 2s, and see how many 2s there are in 12. Or you could count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and we know there are 6 holes. So 12 halves equals 6 holes. Same again with the 12 quarters. How many quarters are there? 4, 8, 12. We know there are 3 4s in 12, so there are 3 holes. 12 sixths. We know there are 2 6s in 12, so again it's 2 holes. Again, like I'm saying, if you wanted to, you could draw out 12 circles. You could then box out how many sixths there are, so how many 6s in 12, and that will give you the answer. Then we've got 12/3. How many thirds are there in 12? So how many 3s in 12? 3, 6, 9, 12. We know there are 4, so the answer is 4 holes. Again, we go to E, that's 15/3. So how many holes? How many 3s in 15? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. That's 5. I nearly got that wrong then, I had to think. Then we got 15/5, F. So how many 5s in 15? 5, 10, 15. It gives us 3 holes. Now we know, we look at this one, we've got holes and quarters. So how many 4s are in 15? 4, 8, 12. We know there are 3. If we go to 12, we can't go to 16 because it's too many. So 3 holes, and then from 12 to 15 it's 3. So it's 3 holes and 3 quarters. And then we've got 15 halves. How many 2's are in 15? Again, we count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Can't go up more because, of course, that'll take us over. So that's 7 holes and 1 half. Okay, so 7 holes and 1 half. 15 halves is 7 holes and 1 half. And I think I might have said 2's again. I'm sorry, should try and say halves. It's Sunday. Right, then we've got this little problem here. Whitney bakes 26 muffins. Muffins are packed in boxes of 4. How many boxes could Whitney fill? So we need to do a bit of a sum, a bit of a problem here, a little bit of a fraction problem. So what we need to work out is how many 4's are in 26. Again, what you could do is you could draw out 26 muffins or 26 circles, and you could box them up. And if you do that, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, you know there will be 24 muffins used, and we can fill 6 boxes, but we've still got 2 left over, okay, because 26 is 2 more than 24. So how many more muffins does Whitney need to fill another box? Well, if we've got 2, and we need 4 muffins to fill another box, that means we just need another 2, doesn't it? We need 2 muffins to fill another box. And we know that because we've worked it out. We've worked out that actually you can fill 6 boxes because we know 4 6's are 24. And that's left us with 2, and we need 2 more to fill another box. So we've done a problem. Some of you may have drawn out the problem. Some of you may have just done the problem in your head. It's entirely up to you how you do it, as long as you get that right answer. Right, now we go on to this, which is less than, greater than, or equal to complete the statements. So we've got 2 wholes and 3 quarters. Is that greater than or less than 5 quarters? And I expect many of you could probably answer that straight away, but we're going to go through it anyway, quite methodically. So 2 wholes, if we're looking at quarters, in each quarter there's 4. So in each hole there are 4 quarters. So we know 2 holes will be 8. So 8 quarters, add the 3, 8, 9, 10, 11 quarters is greater than 5 quarters. Then we go to B, which is 2 holes and 3 quarters. And then we've got 15 quarters on the other side. So is it less than, greater than, or equal to? So again, we know 2 holes is the same as above. We've worked this one out already. We know that it's 11 quarters. 2 holes is 8, and 3 is 11. So 11 quarters is less than 15 quarters. We've got, on to C. We're looking at sixths. So we've got 2 holes and 3 sixths equals 15 sixths. So we know that if we're working with sixths, in each hole there will be 6 sixths. So in 2 holes it'll be 2 lots of 6, so it'll be 12. 12 sixths in 2 holes. So 12 and 3 sixths. 12 sixths and 3 sixths equals 15 sixths. So 15 sixths is equal to 15 sixths. Then we go to D. We've got 2 holes and 3 eighths. Is it less than, greater than, or equal to 15 eighths? So 2 holes, if we're looking at eighths, we know that 2 holes is going to be 2 lots of 8, so that's 16. So we know already that 16, and we add the other 3 is 19. 19 eighths is greater than 15 eighths. Down to E, and we can use our little trick on this one that we learnt earlier. So we've got 15 thirds and 15 fifths. And if the numerator is the same, which it is here, 15 and 15, if the denominator is different, the larger the denominator, the smaller the fraction. So 15 thirds should be greater than 15 fifths. And if we go, right, how many 3's are in 15? We know there's 5. And then how many 5's in 15? There are 3. So yes, 15 thirds is greater than 15 fifths. That little trick, it really works. So lastly, we've got F. We've got 15 thirds. So how many 3's are in 15? Again, it's 5 because we worked it out above. And then how many 4's are in 20? Again, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. It's 5. So that's equal. 15 thirds is equal or equivalent to 20 fourths or 20 quarters. I must not forget to say quarters rather than fourths. I'm so sorry. And then complete the whole part-whole models, and this is the last part. So we've got part-whole models. We've got 4 and 3 fifths, and it starts off quite easy actually. So A, we've got 4 and 3 fifths, and in the circle on the left we've got 4. That means in the circle on the right we just need to put 3 fifths in there to show 4 and 3 fifths. Then we've got B, and it says 4 and 3 fifths at the top. and we've got 3. So we've got 3 whole ones in the circle to the left. So that means we need an extra 1 to go to 4, and then 3/5 we've got left over. So in the right hand side circle you need 1 and 3/5, and those together will make 4 and 3/5. Right, and then we're left with this 4 and 3/5 again, so it's the same whole number and fraction each time, but this time they've converted it into a proper fraction, so we've got 13/5. So how many 5s are in 13? So we've got 2, haven't we, and 3/5. So 2 and 3/5. So we need to make 4 and 3/5. So 2 and 3/5. We need another 2 whole ones to make 4 and 3/5. So we could either put in the circle to the right 2, because that would be our 2 whole ones, or you could put in there 10/5, which would be the same as 2. Both answers would be correct. Hope that helps. If you did manage to get any of those wrong and you're still not really sure about how you got it wrong, go back, watch the video again, have a look through. I'm sure you would have got most of those right. Tomorrow, we'll be looking at fractions again. Hope to see you again. Thank you very much.